Hi. Right now on the drive-through Discord, there's a discussion about how to market a game or um, how to get started in the marketing side of things. Yeah, some of the people in the discussion have they sent out sort of emails or maybe complimentary copies to bloggers and YouTubers and things and got no response. Probably because these people are almost inundated with new things being released all the time. And so I thought I would. Now I've covered lots of bits about marketing games in the past, but I thought I'd just bring it all together. Just a sort of an absolute getting started guide. Uh, just for today, really. So you can see some notes at the side here. These are notes for me really, but it's you know, just useful information. Now, one of the first things to do for to market a game is ironically starts before you've even published the game, and I want to show you now. This is the modern age. And let's So this is the modern age basic book. Funny enough, at the moment, this is a deal of the. This is a bundle of holding bundle, modern age and expanse, but that's not what I'm here for today. Right. So let me just get to that page I was on. Now, can you see the highlighted bits? What it says is you can photocopy the sheet at the back of the book or download and print out the sheet from Green Ronin. Now, the reason that text is in the book is because from there, if you go to their website, one of the things you're going to see is sign up for their mailing list. And this gives every single person that buys this game a good reason to go to the website. And then once you go to the website, there's the mailing list and there's a list of benefits of being on the mailing list. And so this is my own website. And so there's just a little bit of preamble and then straight into, look, you're going to get free stuff through my mailing list. You're going to get discounts through the mailing list. I share content through my mailing list and I gather questions. So the masses of benefits of being on my mailing list. And then there's a sign up form here, and there is a condensed sign up form which in the column here, which is be on every single page. Now, the point of having a mailing list is, if DriveThru went bust tomorrow, I've still got my mailing list, which means I could release my next book on Itch or the Open Gaming Store or Amazon or Exalted Funeral, anywhere, and then tell my existing customer base that the book has been released and where they can buy it. So if a site goes down, then you are not completely beholden to that one site. It makes you more independent. So, even if your book isn't released yet, you can get that reference, that hook to take people from your book to your website, and then from your website to your mailing list. And then you can stay in contact with them. And once you've got if you've got a website for your game, Google will index it, and if you talk about your game on Discord or something and people Google it, your page will be findable, and you will even get people that haven't bought your game will sign up because they would quite like to know when your game becomes available or want to know more about your game. So you get this mailing list set up. Is probably the first thing to do is set up a website, then get a mailing list form on it. You can do it. There's a WordPress plugin for MailChimp, and there's a newsletter plugin for actually for WordPress itself. You've got loads and loads of options, and these are free. Okay. So on my little notes here, so set up your mailing list so you can have a downloadable or form fillable sheet on your website is a free download. That's something that's useful for people. You can put printable sheets on DriveThru and then a form fillable one on your website, because lots of people play digitally now. Put that link, as Green Ronin have done. It's there. You go. It's the first thing. The first thing anyone is going to do when they get a new game is create a character. So put that link there. That is one page or one chapter that you know that every single person that plays the game is going to read. Okay, I've talked about the resilience, the fact that you own your list. You can go where you like with it. You can, if you have got a mailing list and you decide to start a YouTube channel, you can tell people on your mailing list about your YouTube channel. If you set up a Facebook group, you can tell people about that. If you set up a Patreon, you can tell people about that. Your mailing list is, something you can point at other things, whereas it's very, very hard to point other things at your mailing list. So it is the real cornerstone of all marketing in games. So the other thing you can do then is, the most attractive place on DriveThru is the homepage, and the easiest way to get on the homepage is to release something new. But it doesn't have to be a endless treadmill. But so let's have a let's just hit back a second. Um, Sorry, my internet connection is terribly slow. So this is my publisher page on DriveThru. Well, you could see most of it if I hadn't. Right, let me just try and bring that down a little bit. Where are we? So from there to, oops, hang on. Where do we go? There. Right. Okay. So this is my publisher page on DriveThru, and okay, so you can see that I've got series here. They stand out. So every time I released a second book in the same series, it drove sales of the first book in the series. When I released the third book in the series, it drove sales to the first and second book in the series, and so on. So I released 6 books in the series, and they all, every new book uplifted the previous ones. These ones with the white background, these are moving over to these because on the new DriveThru site, you need a white background. You can't use the transparent PNG because it looks absolutely dreadful on the new site. But this is one of my little games, a little indie game. It's been around for years. Now, I made the classic mistake of, about the first thing I ever released was a full game when I knew almost nothing about publishing, rather than learning my trade and then releasing the game. So in this category, you've got the core rules. I created a card set for it. You've got an adventure, sort of with a little mini setting. I've got bundles. Now, the nice thing about bundles is you don't have to do any new creation to get a bundle, and when you create the bundle, it goes on the homepage. And you can create bundles and retire bundles and then create a different bundle. And so you can actually get on that newest scroll bar at the bottom. You can get on there multiple times using different bundles. So that's a little campaign setting, and then it's adventures, and there's every new title uplifts the existing titles. So this idea of releasing new things to drive the sales of the core books, this really, really works. David Silver of Ponyfinder commented the other day that every time he releases a new campaign book, he sells more core books. So that's one way of using DriveThru and DriveThru's homepage to promote your book. You can also, saying down here, it's about thinking about your game, and think of it in terms of the features, advantages, and benefits of your game over any of the other games out there. What does your game do particularly well? And then don't just list the features because that's really, really boring. You see bullet lists of saying, oh, 24 playable classes, 200 monsters, you know, just a list of stuff, 800 spells, which it's a dry list. And chances are that some of the big name games have got more classes, more spells, more whatevers. Um, so you can have the biggest numbers you like. They're never going to be as big as 5e or Peso or anything that's well established. I'm playing Modern Age at the moment, and that's given me I don't know. There's about 30 something monsters in just the core book, and then a ton more in the companion, in the Modern Age companion. And they're really easy to. Most of the things you're going to fight actually turn out they're going to be people, villains, thugs, that sort of thing. So everything you need is there. You don't need masses and masses of unnecessary stuff. So list real benefits, real features, real advantages of playing your game, and then write your write everything. It's starting with your product page. Now, I use a lot of images because I think a picture's worth 1,000 words. Um, and now the unique thing about 3D is it's really designed GMs that want to build their own world. It's a world builder's game. You so that that is front and center there. That is and then I go and say that it's really easy and flexible for creating your own world. Whether it's clubs and swords or lasers, magic, martial arts, whatever. Um, because that's what I think this game does really, really well. That is what I've put right at the front of the product page. Now, I'm not going to show you loads of blog posts about it, but write the content that you wish that people would write about your game. Focus on emotions. What is the really, really fun thing about your game? So I've got a little quote here. You can see that someone actually really enjoyed the spell casting, which means if you're into magic and magic worlds, that is likely to perk someone's interest. If you love world building, the main the main headline there is going to perk your interest. These are things that people get passionate about, and people are more likely to want to play. Whatever's unique about your game, whatever it does exceptionally well, that is what you need to focus on. And engage the emotions, but let people know what does your game do, what's so great about it. There's an acronym they use in professional copywriting called FAB, which is features, advantages, and benefits. Think in terms of this FAB acronym, right at the top of the page when you're drafting something about your game. But also engage the emotions. Write for people. Don't write for search engines and think you're going to rank well for this stuff. Write for the actual customer. Engage the customer or the potential customer, and the search engines will follow. If people start sharing links to your blog posts, then they will rank. Now, when you write a really good blog post about how a feature of your game, then you can share that to your mailing list, and you can even ask the mailing list to share, either forward the email on to people they might be interested, or share it on social. You can use your content, and if you think people aren't going to see it, use your mailing list to help people see it. Something else that's really, really good for indie games is the amount of virtual cons at the moment. Because people are still reticent about meeting and playing in person, you can sign up for virtual cons anywhere in the world, find one that's in a really good time zone for you, and then run your game for people. And then you can, being able to run a game, being able to play in a game run by the person that wrote the game and obviously knows the rules and is really passionate about it, is a real opportunity. and you can then, this is something out, more content that you can share out. You could offer it to your mailing list, places, tell them that, which cons you're going to be at and when the games are uploaded and when they can sign up, and you can tell people to share that on social media as well, or ask people to. So use that way you can actually convince half a dozen people at a time to play your game. You get spectators if the game's streamed online, which would be, well, not necessarily streamed, but if the game is viewable online, which they are at virtual cons mostly, other people can see the game being played. People may be curious and drop in just for 5 minutes and see your game being played, and then when they see that name again, they'll remember that, and they'll if the people look like they're having fun, they will be curious. They may want to have a go. So there's loads and loads of stuff, but that absolute core of it is your mailing list. That is the way you're going to uh, get the word out and build your following, is through a mailing list. And you don't need a gimmick. You can just write your own content. Write what you wish people would write about your game. Focus on that FAB, features, advantages, and benefits. You could pick one benefit and write a whole blog post about it, and then share that out. And the more content you've got on your site, the more chance of there is of Google indexing it all. And when someone's looking for a game for world building, they could say, "Oh well, there's lots of content on this site about world building, so you got a chance of ranking." So that's it. Now I called this is marketing plan first. These are the first steps. You can do all of this almost before your game is finished being written. And you want to get that link, as Green Ronin did here, get that link into the text of the game, and so it is there. Every copy sold, even every copy pirated, will have that link to your website and a chance of, and for people to want to sign up. To your mailing list. They may only be signing up for stuff you're saying you're going to get for free, but there's also a chance that once you've got them, if you go from PDF to print on demand, they may want physical books. So it can only work for you. Okay, so that's it. That's what I've got for you today. That is the first steps, the first things I would recommend for someone wanting to sell their game. Okay, thank you for watching.